And now it's time to get a macro perspective on what else is happening around us in the world. For this morning's World Deconstructed, we're joined by Dr. David Tizzard via Zoom. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Lena.
Happy Thursday.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. So you're taking us somewhere between Germany and Denmark to tell us about this remarkable new tunnel project that takes us underwater. I mean, the technology, the engineering behind this is incredible.
And the convenience and everything that will take place. And perhaps coming from the south of England, where we have the Channel Tunnel. I was growing up as that was being built around me in my hometown, a tunnel that would take us underwater from the south of England to the, what would it be, the west of France. So these kind of things are very interesting. But this tunnel from Denmark to Germany, this goes under the Baltic Sea. Here's something I learned last night about the Baltic Sea. The Baltic Sea is a relatively young sea.
What does that mean?
It means it only emerged about 10,000, 15,000 years ago.
Only as the glacier. 10,000 years ago.
I know. So it's older than me. We can say that. We sometimes compare my age to countries, but relatively young compared to many other seas that we have around the world. Now, the Fehmarn Belt Tunnel is this groundbreaking infrastructure that's going to go under the Baltic Sea, and it's going to connect Denmark and Germany, more specifically Rødbyhavn in Denmark and then Puttgarden in Germany. It's going to go for 18 kilometers, or about 11 miles, and that's going to be the world's longest immersed road and rail tunnel. So this is not just groundbreaking for Europe, but this is a piece of engineering and infrastructure that the world is slowly taking notice of.
The largest underwater tunnel construction with a price tag of $8.7 billion for anyone wondering. All right, so this sounds like a huge feat of engineering. How exactly are they building this? I mean, come on, right? I mean, you start to wonder, do they build a tunnel on ground and then take it underwater? I mean, you start to wonder about the process.
That's exactly what they do. You're clever. You should build tunnels. You should go into engineering, Lena. I started by talking about the Channel Tunnel, which is one that goes from England to France. And for that, they bored through solid rock. So there was this drill. And you have power tools around your houses, drills. The actual drill that they used was just sort of on display on the side of the road in the south of England. So you would drive past it all the time and you would see this drill that was basically the size of a house.
Oh, wow.
And so for the Channel Tunnel, it was boring through solid rock. For this one, for the Fehmarn Belt Tunnel, they're using the immersed tube method. So this is something like you might have seen in that hyperlink kind of tunnels that Elon Musk was always talking about. They're getting 90 gigantic prefabricated segments. Each is around 74,000 tons, around 220 meters long. They're being built on land. There's an island in Denmark, and it's called LOL Land. Isn't that funny? There should be a place in Korea called Kukukado.
That's funny.
But they're building them in this factory, and then what they're doing, they're towing them out to sea, and then they're lowering them 40 meters into the trench of the seafloor using GPS, underwater cameras, and the tolerance that they have to get this right by is just 15 millimeters. So they're taking these huge things, building them, taking them out to sea, dropping them into the place. So it's like this huge Lego set that they're assembling, but they're doing it on the seabed.
I mean, the level of accuracy that's required and these giant Lego pieces as required. Okay, the level of technological marvel that is required to do this. It's amazing. Okay, so the next big question, of course, that comes to mind is, why build it here and now? Is there a lot of trade or commute between Denmark and Germany? Why was this specific route chosen? Why is a tunnel important now, David?
Yeah, there's two main reasons for this. One is about encouraging people not to fly. And because it is important for those that are very concerned with the environment. And so Europe is very strong on this. You know, there's heavy regulations on what you can and cannot do in Europe with new things. And so they're really trying to push towards a more greener environment. That's part of the European Union's manifesto, as well as many specific countries and particular parties. But more important than that, I think the location is strategically perfect because Denmark is the gateway between Scandinavia and Central Europe. Right now, goods that are traveling from places like Copenhagen to Hamburg in Germany, they have to take a very long detour, or the ferry crossing itself takes 45 minutes. So you're going from a very long detour or a 45-minute ferry journey. With this tunnel, that's going to be cut down by train to 7 minutes.
Oh.
Or yeah, I know, that's a big thing. So imagine just being able to go from there to there in 7 minutes, where normally it would be taking closer to an hour. So the reducing of carbon emissions is very important, and it encourages more sustainable travel. And this tunnel is part of that vision, but it's just about, you can get from Denmark to Germany now in 7 minutes. Let's go, guys.
All right. So lowering carbon footprint was a big part of the agenda, but I understand there was some controversy over environmental concerns.
Yeah, so looking at all the stories coming out of it, environmental groups in Germany, they actually filed legal challenges to try to stop the construction. They were concerned, I should say, about the marine life in the Baltic Sea that might be disrupted by, obviously, we've talked about the size of the infrastructure and the columns and the tubes that they're putting down there, and they're worried about the harbour porpoises, which made me curious. Wow, yeah, harbour porpoises. It sounds like an indie band to me, but to think that there are porpoises and dolphins going around there, that's quite cool. However, Germany's federal court said that, the project, it has all these mitigation efforts, and these are sufficient. So it understands that it will be disrupting the natural environment of various things. But what they're doing is they're trying to create other initiatives that will offset the damage that they're doing. So in Denmark, there's a 300-hectare wetland to support biodiversity and things like this. And they've also pointed to the economic impacts that it will be having. So the factory where it's being built in Lolland in Denmark, the huge business impact on that is great, because you have all the people going there, getting jobs, eating in restaurants, going to coffee shops. So it's revitalized one of Denmark's previously poorest regions.
David, it is the largest underwater tunnel construction, a whopping price tag of $8.7 billion. How is the project of this scale being financed, and who stands to benefit from it?
Yeah, it's an incredible amount of money, isn't it? It's just huge. This is, more than GDPs of many countries around the world. Denmark is footing most of the bill. Most of this comes from Denmark because Germany is already connected to most of Europe. It sits there in the center, and Germany has access basically east, south, west, wherever it wants to go. So Denmark is paying for most of this because it wants to be more connected to mainland Europe, and then Scandinavia will go through that. The European Commission is paying about 1.3 billion euros to help support this. But the tunnel is being paid by state-backed loans. So once it opens, there's going to be a toll to go through the tunnel. It's not just you can go through for free. Obviously, it's going to cost money. And they're hoping that after about 40 years, that's the plan, these tolls that get recuperated from people using the tunnel will be paid back. So it's a 40-year loan, essentially, from the state of Denmark to pay for this.
And it's probably not just Denmark and Germany that will benefit from it. It will connect the wider region, and trade should be more efficient, right? Anyone that goes through it should benefit from it. To wrap up, David, what does the Fehmarnbelt Tunnel symbolize in the broader sense?
I think where we're seeing conflicts around the world, not just Russia and Ukraine or Israel and Palestine, but, the world is still divided in many ways. We're seeing the economic trade war between the United States and China and many other places. What this symbolizes is Europe's determination to not only be together, but to stay together and be integrated as much as possible. They're trying to, let's all use the same currency, but keep our national culture. Let's allow people to travel between all of these countries without a passport for free. Let's build the roads and the tunnels to connect them. So Europe is really pushing this idea that while each country and culture will remain individual, it's trying to integrate as much as possible. And this is at a speed that we don't really see elsewhere in much of the world. You don't sort of see single currencies in ASEAN or Northeast Asia or other places like that. So Europe is a model. Obviously, it has many supporters, many detractors, but we'll see. But now there's a tunnel. Imagine there was a tunnel going to Japan that would only take you a few minutes. The people would be angry for not spending money in Korea, but then the Japanese people could come here and spend their yen and everybody would go, yay.
Imagine a single currency in ASEAN. That just kind of blew my mind for a second. Thank you so much, David. That was a deep dive.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.